Alright, what's up guys? We're going to go over the Motorola Apex 6000 XE Marks radio. These are the radios that we are going to be using on the trucks. So I'm just going to go over a quick overview of the radio itself here. So right now we're looking at the front of the radio. Got the nice green housing. The cool thing about this radio is we have two speaker mics, so it doesn't matter which direction you talk on the radio. There's a microphone embedded in here, and then there's also one on the back side right up here. It has built-in systems for reducing wind, background noise. You could be standing right next to a pump panel or a fan or something like that, and it'll cut out that noise. Real quick, we'll go over a review of the radio. So you got the radio itself. This black part down here is the battery. To change out the battery, there's a clip here and one here. You're just going to squeeze those two, pull straight out, and then you got the battery. So you can hot swap that or do whatever, but it's going to go in the same way. Straight in, and they'll click. Once those click in, you should be good to go. So again, here's the front of the radio. Side of the radio, we got some programmable buttons. We have our top purple button here. It's going to turn on our light on the top and the back of the radio. If you push and hold that, then the top display will rotate. So we'll turn the radio on so you can see.
Zone 1.
So it'll talk to you, and if you can see that real well or not. But it's like this, but we're holding the radio on the other side. We can rotate that around. So I'm pushing the top button, and then the light went off there, but you can see it flipped around. So I can turn the light on. I'll push and hold it, and there it flipped. So that's just to rotate your display, so no matter which way the radio is oriented, you can see what the display says there. You have your push to talk button right there, so you'll have that when you do a push to talk. If you don't hear that noise, if you're a solid tone, you do not have a connection to a tower. And then you have your up and down button. So the top button here is supposed to be voice playback, which there's nothing really on the radio to hear. And then the bottom is going to be our site search. So you can look at the screen at the top here. It'll tell you what site we're on, and then our RSSI. It's also displayed on the back. We can push it. It'll tell you what site, what tower we're on, and the RSSI. If you want to try to get a better signal, if you push and hold that, it'll scan the sites, and then it'll pick up potentially a better tower with a better signal. Not always the case, but if there's one around, it may hook you up with that. Alright, so on the back side here, we have our screen. We got some soft keys here, our home key, arrow key, and the computer. So the home key is just that. So it's programmed to go to 70 dispatch, zone 1, channel 1. So we'll flip to another channel here. Push and hold, long press.
Dispatch.
Takes you right back. So now you can talk to dispatch. If you push it again, it's not going to take you back. It's always going to go to dispatch. You'll have to manually change back to what channel you were on. The arrows, all they do is navigate the bottom soft keys there. So you can scroll across there. The computer thing is not anything that is programmed for us, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. The three buttons up here for the soft keys basically do what is on the menu there, and again you can use the arrows to change. So the first one there, I don't know if you can see or not, says zone up, so obviously that's just going up to a different zone. There are 25 zones in here, so you can go up, and then obviously the opposite of that is going to be going down.
Zone 1.
Battery, the last one there, that's going to give us battery info, so that shows us how much charge the battery has. So this one says 100%. The capacity is 1806, whatever that means, and then this one has an estimated charge number of charges left, 117. So it's an estimate. Doesn't mean when it hits 117 more times in the charger it's going to be done, but its useful life is estimated with that. So we can exit out of that. We'll go over to the next screen. Bluetooth, we can push that, and that'll turn our Bluetooth on. So it says the Bluetooth is turned on. If you scroll down, it'll show how many devices are connected and what names they are. The Bluetooth speaker is off. I don't have a Bluetooth speaker hooked up, so that's not going to be turned on right now. This should also be on when they're connected to the air packs, because that's going to be going through a Bluetooth speaker. The radio name for the Bluetooth, if you need to search, you can do that. And then the visibility, if other devices need to find the radio's Bluetooth, you can do that. So that turns the Bluetooth on and off, and then you can exit out. your MS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's a mode select. So that's basically programmable by the user. So say I want to use TAC3 since it's on the screen as a go-to channel. So I'm going to push and hold until it beeps. Once it beeps, that's locked in. So now I can go back to dispatch, and I can go to mode select 1, and it goes automatically to TAC3. Now, the thing is you have to remember which talk groups you have and which mode select. So it's user programmable, so if you come in on your shift and you want to put mode select 1 as dispatch, you can do that. And then we'll do mode select 2 as TAC2. And then we'll go to the hospitals. Say we want to put Avita Ontario into 3. And Ohio Health Mansfield into 4. And then you want to put, let's say, the sheriff. We'll put the sheriff into 5. Alright, so a normal operation, you're at station here, you go on a call, and you need to go to TAC2 to talk. You can hit push that, you're on TAC2. You're done, you can go back to 1, then you transport a patient. You can go to 3 or 4. Say we go to Mansfield, so we'll hit 4.
Zone 2.
Call your patient report. When patient report's done, you can go back to TAC2, whatever channel you were on. So it's changed by the user. Thing is, you just have to remember what talk group is in which mode select button. You don't have to use them, but it is kind of convenient, so you're not punching through 24 different zones to get to a channel. Okay, next is mute, so you can push the mute button. Now I'm pushing these buttons and you hear there's no beeping, so all that does is turn the beeps off when you're pushing keys. Your speaker still works, that still works. Everything else is still working as a radio, so you'll hear tones, you'll hear voice, you'll hear emergency tones, all that stuff. You just have no noise with the buttons. So if you want to hear the buttons make noise, you just push mute again, turns it off, and then you can hear the tones. The next one is clock, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You can get in there and you can adjust the date and the time. So you just hit edit, and then you can go through and change the clock settings. QC2, this is not going to be on everybody's radio. This will probably just be on the officer's radio, but that's how we're going to set the tones off. So we'll just go over here to a direct channel, and we need to be on marks.
Direct north.
So we'll go over here, we can hit that, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says EMS and fire. So if you want to set the tones, all you got to do is push the push to talk. It'll set the tones off, and then you can talk and request for more manpower, station coverage, whatever you want to do. So that's the QC2, and then we're back at the beginning. It will go the opposite way too, so if you need to get back and push mute or whatever, and you're on the main screen, you can hit either way. Up and down arrows, I have nothing programmed on them. Alright, for the top of the radio, again you have your display there. Pushing the purple button on the side and holding it for a long press will flip the display. So I don't know if you can see it with the light being off. Short press is the light, and a long press is turning the display. It also will display the light on the back, so if you need to turn the light on for the back, you can do that. And any button press will turn the light on, but if you need it specifically, you can do that. Alright, so here's your volume knob. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Here's your channel select knob here in the middle. Unlike the Kenwoods, the channel select for this stops at 16. So once you get to 16, it stops. So if you need to change to, like, say, zone 5, channel 8, you're going to have to back this all the way back to to channel 8, so you can utilize that channel. The A, B, and C button over here, if you can see that. A is nothing, normal operation, whatever talk group you're on, you're going to hear. B is going to be turning your scan on, so now your scan is on. And if we get to a Mark's talk group here, you know your scan is on because you have a Z, if you can see it very well there, but you have a Z looking thing in the center of your screen. And then on your display in the back, you also have a Z up towards the top right there. So that lets you know that you are in scan mode. And going to the C up here, flipping it over one more.
Scan off.
Turn your scan off, but you can edit your scan bank. So now this tells you what's in scan. So it says right now we got Richland County zone FD 70 dispatch. If we want to select that, we can push that. And then if something's not in the scan bank, you'll see the little Z at the top will disappear. There we go. So it's not there anymore in the 70 SE talk group. So if you want to add that, just hit select. And it'll get added. If you want to remove it from scan, just hit delete. Same thing with any of those. You can adjust whatever you listen to on that. Recall, that will just show what's in your scan bank. And then when you're done, you can just go back to the B up at the top, and then you can scan all those talk groups.
Scan off.
Right here in the front is a key lock. That's a slide right below the channel knob and above your screen. So you just slide that over.
Control lock on.
Now we have nothing working. The volume works. Your scan works, but your stuff on the side does not work. Your push to talk does. And then your emergency button works as well. So you can push and hold that. That will go off as well. And to unlock it, obviously,
Control lock off.
you flip it back. And then
TAC 5.
For the
Direct. North.
man down
South.
button, we'll just do it on this talk group here. Push and hold it. This will emit a tone. Your light flashes here. And then you have a hot mic for 10 seconds, and then it goes silent, so somebody can talk back to you. And then it's another hot mic for 10 seconds. So that's basically the radio here in a nutshell. Also on the screen, you have the clock, shows your marks connectivity. It's like a cell phone. I don't really have good reception where I'm at right now, but you should have full bars there. If you're on a conventional talk group, so something that's not on the Marks network, like these 7 Fire talk groups, that should go away.
Direct.
There we go. A little bit of a lag, but now we don't have a tower. So if you don't see a tower there, don't freak out. That just means that you are not on the Marks network. This is a radio-to-radio thing. It's just like a walkie-talkie line-of-sight type thing. If you're on Marks,
Direct.
you will have a tower that shows up there. You may not have any bars, but at least it shows you're on the Marks network. The H just shows it's on high band power, or it's on high power, so it's pushing out the maximum wattage. You have a Bluetooth symbol, and then your battery fuel gauge is over there. So that's basically the radio itself. Then we'll go over the mic here. So this is the XE500 lapel mic. You got a clip here. Your clip here rotates around 360 degrees. You can fold this down. This will clip onto a pocket, radio strap, whatever you want. Nice thing with these, if the cord becomes damaged, we can just hot swap it with a wrench right there, pull the cord out, keep the mic, put a new cord on, and we're back in business. So a quick overview on this. You have your channel select up here at the top. So this will work
TAC 2.
independent
TAC
of...
4.
Turn that down so you can hear. This will work independent of the radio, so it doesn't matter what that is listed at. You can still change channels here.
5.
Then you have your man down button, so again you can push and hold that. If you notice, your LED light here flashes, so if you're trapped in a fire or something like that, then you can hopefully be seen a lot easier with that LED light flashing. So you have to have your mic out of your coat for that to work, but that will flash on these as well. Then you have an indicator up here at the top, so this little bottom thing here, when you key, that'll just highlight red, just letting you know that you're keying the mic. And then the one below that, if you are connected to something via Bluetooth, that will be illuminated, showing that you're Bluetooth to a device. There's a little switch here. This is our volume, so up towards the top is volume up, and then obviously volume down, so you don't have to reach down and touch your radio. Go to push to talk here, so we can push that. You see the lights illuminated. It will have the chirp. I'm just not on a Marks channel right now, so that's why you don't hear the chirp. And then the bottom button is your mode select, so you can push that, just a short press,
Dispatch.
and it goes to dispatch. Now if I want to assign a new channel, I can do that as well. So say I want to keep it at 64 Delta, so I'll push and hold, it beeps, and we'll go back to dispatch, a short press, then 64 Delta, does the same thing here. It's going to take me, so that's going to be my mode select 1. So I'll have short press will take you to where you want it to be, and if you want to set it as a new channel for mode select, you push and hold that until it beeps. Last thing is we have a LED light on the mic itself. This is a button. You push and hold it, the light comes on. So this will be useful, at nighttime, obviously, or if you're in a house with low lighting, you can turn that on. But just push and hold, and then to turn it off, you do the same thing. Alright, that's all I got for the radio. If you guys have any questions at all, please get a hold of me, and I can hopefully answer the questions for you. And just play with these and get used to them, because hopefully we'll be using them in the next week or so. And if you get someplace where you get stuck and you don't know where you're at, turn the radio off, turn it back on, and you should get it somewhat familiar. They're really not that hard to figure out, but just get some hands-on time with them, figure out how to use them, talk through them. They're all on the network there, so you can talk through them and look at the PowerPoint that I got out too, so you know which talk groups we can use and whatnot. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Have a good day and be safe.